Portia with Portia's Peace, or Mama and That Baby Bay. And I am back with another Bible break. And tonight we are going to start off reading the book of Proverbs. You guys, we just finished reading the book of James, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I really love the book of James. That is a strong book, and the wisdom in that book is applicable to today, like today's time. And this book was written some years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but it was written a long time ago, back in them New Testament days. And I decided that I wanted to go ahead and continue on with some wisdom, reading from the book of Proverbs. And if you guys know or don't know, some of you guys may already know that the book of Proverbs is completely filled with wisdom. And what I like to do for this book, I'm going to be reading from New International Version, NIV. The book of James I read from the Amplified Bible, which I really like. And this book I wanted to read from NIV. And the Bible app that I have, the Holy Bible app, each version of the Bible is a little bit different in terms of if you're reading from New International or King James or Amplified, so on and so forth. But for the New International Version, they have an introduction for each book. And I'm going to start off, we're going to go ahead and read the introduction so we can get a base of where the writer is coming from, who that writer is. And we're going to get into it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so I am reading the book of Proverbs from the New International Version of the Bible. And we're going to read the introduction to this book. Israel understood that their Creator had placed an order in His world that could be discovered. The book of Proverbs captures these lessons in compact, memorable sayings passed down from the wisest among their elders. Many of them are from Solomon, a king renowned for his wisdom, and you can reference 1 Kings 4:29 and 34. These proverbs are especially designed to help younger people avoid common pitfalls and find the path to prosperity, health, and security.
Mommy,
Yes?
the game is over.
Okay, Onyx. After a short section of teaching, wisdom itself, personified as a woman, calls out to the simple and don't do that, Onyx.
I tried to read this book.
Sorry, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start that sentence again. After a short section of teaching, wisdom itself, personified as a woman, calls out to the simple and invites them to grow in knowledge. This section ends by presenting two banquets, one hosted by wisdom and one by folly, illustrating the essential choice to be made in life. A collection of 375 Proverbs of Solomon follows, reflecting the numerical value of his name in Hebrew. Hebrew letters were also used as numbers, so words had a value equal to the sum of their letters. Wow, I didn't know that. After some sayings of the wise, next is a collection of Solomon's wisdom compiled by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. Here the count is 130, equaling the value of Hezekiah's name. The book closes with sayings from Agar and Lemuel, ending with a poem whose 22 parts begin with consecutive letters of the Hebrew alphabet. The character qualities praised throughout the book are seen in a description of the ideal wife. Okay. This rich book of short, pithy wisdom presents a consistent theme. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. All right, so this is what we're about to jump into. You guys, this is written for the youth. And I'm pretty sure anybody of any age can gain some knowledge from this good book right here. So here we go. Proverbs chapter 1. We are reading from the New International Version of the Bible. Purpose and theme is what this is titled. Verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance, for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. I'm definitely notating that, highlighting that. The prologue, exhortations to embrace wisdom, warning against the invitation of sinful men. Verse 8. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They are a garland to grace your head, and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinful men entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for innocent blood, let's ambush some harmless soul, let's swallow them alive like the grave, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We will get all sorts of valuable things and fill our houses with plunder. Cast lots with us. We will all share the loot. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths, for their feet rush into evil. They are swift to shed blood. How useless to spread a net where every bird can see it. 18. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush only themselves. Such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the life of those who get it. Wisdom's rebuke. Verse 20. Out in the open wisdom calls aloud. She raises her voice in the public square. On top of the wall, she cries out. At the city gate, she makes her speech. This is the speech. 22. How long will you who are simple love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery, and fools hate knowledge? Repent at my rebuke. Then I will pour out my thoughts to you. I will make known to you my teachings. But since you refuse to listen when I call, and no one pays attention when I stretch out my hand, since you disregard all my advice and do not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh when disaster strikes you. I in turn will laugh when disaster strikes you. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm. When disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind. When distress and trouble overwhelm you. Yikes. Verse 28. Then they will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but will not find me. Since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, since they would not accept my advice and spurned my rebuke, they will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at least 33. This is the last verse. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. All right, my peoples, my kin folks, I just read Proverbs 1 from the New International Version, and I highlighted a few things that stood out to me. So let's go through them really quick, and let me know in the comments what stood out to you after reading this chapter. There's a lot of things that kind of stood out. First of all, verse 4 in chapter 1, it said, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. And so this is talking about like gaining wisdom, and it just stood out to me, because some people are like, being simple is like another way of saying gullible, or kind of naive. But wisdom gives prudence, and then also gives knowledge and discretion to young people. So I'm assuming they mean young in the sense of like adolescence. And I'm not sure back in those days, and some of you guys, my Bible scholars, you guys can comment on this below, like what age group they're really targeting here when they say young. Do they mean like teenagers? Do they mean anybody that is like under 50 or something like that? Like, what is young consist of here? Is young, does it mean someone who has not reached the age of maturity? In terms of like, when you go through hormones and things like that. What do they mean by young? What also stood out to me was verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And so it notes here that the Hebrew word fool also is a person who is morally deficient. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So we often talk about like, don't be fearful, no fear, no fear. And granted, we don't want to have any fear, but the one good entity to have fear is fear of the Lord, because that's the beginning of our wisdom and instruction. So I'd rather be fearful in the Lord than anything else, so that when I do walk into a situation, that I will bring wisdom with me because I have fear in the Lord. I will have some kind of instruction, some kind of plan, some kind of basis to me when I walk into something, because I do have fear in the Lord. I really like this. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. I'm trying to let that sink in. Verse 9. They are a garland to grace your head, and a chain to adorn your neck. So you guys, I really like imagery. Imagery is powerful, and I liked how Proverbs verse 9 in chapter 1 outlines instruction from your mother and your father. This is basically talking about getting instruction from your mom and your dad. And it just, can you picture like a beautiful, like wise instruction just sitting on your head like a piece of garland, or one of them nice gold link, Cuban link chains sitting around your neck, but it's instruction and it was adorned on your neck from your mom or your dad. Like you walk around with this valuable piece of information because you chose to listen to your mother and father and your elders, and the Lord. You bring the fear of the Lord with you. So that I really like the imagery in that. Just imagining walking around with these pieces on your chest, on your neck, on your head. And the other thing, verse 17, how useless to spread a net where every bird can see it. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush only themselves. This reminded me, when I was reading through this, it reminded me of back, there's still gangs now, but back when gang activity was super heavy in like the late 80s, early 90s. Gang activity is heavy now, but not as much, and it was almost like glorified. It reminds me of that because indeed, these fools had a plan to shed blood and steal and do all these horrible, sinful things to people, but in turn, you're really doing it to yourself. Like, you are really hurting yourself in the end. So, especially for young men, just women and men, just avoid these type of folks because they're making you fools too. Like, you don't want to follow. I guess it's like your parent, back when you were younger, especially if you guys are around my age or older. And if you are young, listening to this now, take this piece of advice with you, because your elders, your parents, anyone who has lived this earth longer than you, more than 10 years or so, they've been through it and they already know how it is. Like, there's people that are attracted to your light that should not be in your space at all. So, and again, these people only hurt themselves. And so, verse 31, it still goes on to talk about these same groups of people. They will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their own schemes. So they're just constantly, the lifestyle they're living is what they're cycling through themselves every day, all day. They are cycling through scheming and scamming and looting and hitting licks and doing all this stuff. They're just recycling that, and that's not a life for you to live. Like, I don't want to live like that, just scheming and scamming, because you won't have like a joyous life. Like, you'll be on edge all the time, I'm assuming. And then again, the last verse 33, but whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear or harm. You see how it says be at ease? You'll be easy breezy without fear or anything. So just take that with you. Again, we read Proverbs 1 from the NIV version of the Bible. And as always, take the Spirit of the living God wherever you go. And tune in with me to read with me. Comment below and let me know what your take from Proverbs 1 was, and how it was written, and things that stood out to you in your own life. And we will catch each other on the next video. I will be discussing Proverbs 2. And I will see you on the next go round. And that's about it. Ciao for now.